Well boys, what a freaking video I have for you today. Everyone's been asking about what's been going on with the new Eclipse ever since I revealed it and showed us finding out the rod knock issues and everything. There hasn't really been any content on it, and it's really important to me that every single video on that car is really good, you know, actually making big progress. We did make big progress, but at the same time we didn't, and I feel it's necessary to make a video not only just to update you guys, to show you exactly what's going on, but also to help anybody out in a similar situation in the future. So this one goes out to all of you Chrysler or Mitsubishi 2.0 guys. I got a little PSA for you if you are trying to get a motor, but I have good and bad news for anybody who's trying to get a motor for like a GS Eclipse or any older 2.0 vehicle. This video is for you. Side note, I've been reorganizing the shop. I got all the cabinets moved around and stuff. It looks really good so far. I got a lot of cleaning to do and a lot of stuff like that, but this is like the first time it's been organized and cleaned up since the beginning of the year, really. Let's start talking about the Eclipse 2 liter. I did get my hands on a whole new motor for the car, which I was really excited about. Made a little road trip about an hour away. I picked up a motor out of a 2003 Dodge Neon, and I plan to use the bottom end and just do whatever with the head, scrap the head or sell it. Mainly I wanted the bottom end of that motor, which I got. And it's currently in the car. I went ahead and pulled the head off of it, swapped the 420A head on, swapped over a bunch of parts, motor mounts, timing stuff, etc. Spent a few days kind of like going through, cleaning everything up, getting everything ready, and doing a bunch of stuff so that it was all perfect when it went back in. Mated the transmission up to the engine with the clutch and everything just the other day, and then went ahead and dropped it in the car, as you're seeing on the clips that I'm overlaying right now. Slowly lowered it in. You have to really like angle the motor up to get them in and out of this car, but you can do it with the motor and trans out the top pretty easily. Went ahead and did that, put everything back in the car, and we were smooth sailing. But there was a small difference. I noticed the crank sensor was in the front of the motor, kind of like it is on the PT-GT and all the PTs and all the 2.4 liters. But on the old motor, the 420A that came out of this car, it was in the back near the oil filter, which was kind of interesting. So I went ahead and wired up some extensions, ran the wires around here and just down to that. Everything was looking good. We tried to fire it up. We could not get it to start. We were having a crank no start situation, which alludes to a crank sensor. That's immediately what you would think of. Went ahead and decided that probably the crank sensor was different because of the location. Sure enough, I looked it up, cross-referenced part numbers, and it was a little different. So I'm like, oh, they probably just changed the sensor. We'll just get an older sensor, throw it in, and we should be good, right? Well, no. I went to pull the sensor out of the old motor just to test it, and it just was so brittle it completely broke off. Went ahead and bought a new sensor, which was not cheap. Went to throw it in, it wouldn't go in all the way because the dimensions of the sensor were different. So I made a little spacer just to try to get it to work, to see if it would work. And this is what ended up happening.
It's trying to fire.
Sounds like crap. It tried to start, it really did, but it was not able to. You could tell that there was like a firing order issue or something like that. We played around with it for quite a while, trying to make something work, but you could tell, even just by the way the tachometer was acting, when you were trying to start the car, it would like jump around and be way too high up. Was tripping the computer out and was unable to get the right spark timing and fuel and everything. So crank sensor is very important for that sort of thing. RPM in general and crank position, it's very important for the computer. I was unable to read the sensor because it turns out that they completely changed the design of the crankshaft for the 2003 model year with these motors. So for a brief second, hang in there with me. I'm gonna get nerdy about this. From 1995 to basically 1998 or 1999 into there was two motors made by Chrysler. There was the 420A and there was the ECC. Those were the two engine codes. The ECC and the 420A were the same freaking motor. The only difference was the head on them was slightly different. The only difference actually was intake side was on the front and the exhaust was on the rear with the ECC, and then the 420A is what's in this car with the exhaust in the front and the intake in the rear. So not really a huge difference. Some people will actually swap heads back and forth, even on like the SRT4 and the 2.4s. If people want to do like a front mount turbo, they'll use like an old 428 head or an older head out of one of the Mitsubishi and Chrysler crossover engines that had the front mount for the exhaust. But yeah, so those were the two variations of this particular motor with this head, with the dual overhead cam. There were other variations. There were single overhead variations, and there was the A588 variation, which was a single overhead cam, front intake, rear exhaust on the same exact bottom end. That was in a lot of the Neons that were going into the 2000s, basically. Up till 2005, they used that same 8588. I think that was the code for it. So basically the same exact motor with a different head. So I thought anyway. Something that a lot of people don't have information on about the A588 is in 2003, for the last like 2 or 3 years of production, they decided to completely change the crankshaft and the layout of everything. They changed not only the crank sensor type, they also decided to completely change the positioning of the gear that the sensor reads. I forgot the proper name for it. This little wheel right here that has like teeth taken out of it. That's what the sensor reads, so it knows the position of it. They decided to completely change not only the positioning of that, but the whole gear itself is completely different. So it reads completely different. So basically, even with an old style sensor, the computer still had no clue where the heck the crankshaft was at. I think it's super odd that they would do something as huge as change the whole crankshaft design basically, but still keep the same engine code and not really have very much information on that because of that. But when we continued to have issues with the car yesterday, I started to do extensive research on everything, and I finally found an article, I believe it was on Wikipedia actually, on the A588, and after reading down a little further, I finally found a part where they mentioned how the whole crankshaft changed in 2003, and it makes it almost impossible to make it compatible. But oh well, live and learn, and I'm glad I was able to make this video and give you guys a little bit of a warning. It's pretty awesome because they were pretty much all the bottom ends were compatible. It was only some of the heads that were different. Just you think that the cutoff was 2005, but the cutoff's actually 2002 and before. Because 2003 and up, they changed some things that were kind of major, and you'd either have to completely swap out your computer and probably the whole engine wiring harness and then deal with other gremlins, or just swap out the bottom end of the motor again, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. I already reserved a 2000 Dodge Neon motor that I'm gonna be getting. It's technically still an A588, but it will be before the crankshaft change, so the bottom end will be the same. And this motor, it only has about, I think, 36,000 miles on it, so it's practically a brand new motor, and I'm getting a super good deal on it. You can get these motors for actually pretty dang cheap, so I'm excited about that. We're gonna be picking that up in the next few days, but today I'm gonna go ahead and pull this motor out of the car yet again, even though it's in there and like ready to go. I'm gonna yank it back out, which really sucks, but I'm kind of curious to see how quickly I can do it. So I'm actually gonna time myself and yank the motor out, set it on the ground, see how long it takes me to do that. To be fair, the axles are still disconnected and a few things like that. Also, the motor mount is not on this side of the motor, so those couple things would probably take 30 minutes to maybe an hour if there was a complication off of the time that it would normally take. Let's see what we can do. I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping maybe an hour or two we'll have it out at the most, but only time will tell. All right, so the official final time was 1 hour and 33 minutes on the dot that it took me to get the engine out with the stuff that was already done, but kind of proud of myself. Anyways, guys, it looks like that's where we're gonna be winding it down for this video. I wish it was a better update, but unfortunately, that's all that I have right now. This has been going on over the past couple weeks, probably, between, you know, taking the old motor out, getting the new one, cleaning everything up, putting it in, finding out what was wrong, taking it back out, doing extensive research, and not to mention that there's a lot of other projects going on, including 2 other cars outside that are in pieces right now. We have a lot on our plate, but we are making it happen. So hit the thumbs up button if you're excited for the future and all of the content that we have actually been making that is yet to come. Very excited to be releasing it for you guys. Hopefully we'll have another update in the next few days, as long as I can knock the edit out. But again, guys, thank you so much for the support, and thank you so much for watching this quick little video. You rock, God bless, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.